Hello everybody here on YouTube and my supporters, my patrons on Patreon. This is the full rough draft of Chapter 2, Bridge Builder. So here we go. After that period of time working in San Diego, I felt the call to return to my desert home to seek the next steps in this journey. In the course of time I spent working at that hospice house, many a patient became a friend. But when I returned to the high desert to continue my work as a hospice RN case manager, a friend became a patient. We first met years ago at a hometown cafe, where he shared encouragement to go out into the world and learn all there is about life and people, to boldly discover purpose and how to best serve with this gift of music. I was nervous then, a bit intimidated by the steps ahead. There were doubts of where to go and how to get there. But he encouraged me to walk on, open to discovering what was out there waiting on the other side of those dreams. Through the years, we kept in touch between adventures and tours, catching up over stories and new songs from the journey. I knew that he was battling brain cancer, and things were up and down. I would hear from him, and then I wouldn't, until I heard from him again. It had been a time since I heard from him, and when we sat down for our routine meeting that Monday morning at the hospice, our manager said, "We have a new patient on board, and he knows you, Ian." I immediately knew it was him. Before they even said his name, I was certain. I went to see him that same day. As I drove to him, I thought, "The adventures have brought us here, my friend. What will this road show us?" I walked into his room, heavy-hearted. We locked eyes and both smiled. He said, "I knew our paths crossed for a reason," and I said, "Here we are, brother." I sat by his side and we simply talked about the situation, how the road led to this. He had a brain tumor that was inoperable, and said that it made for a bumpy road, with some days riddled with intense, uncontrollable emotion. Shifts between rage, joy, sadness, made for a seemingly ever-widening ravine between where he stood now and what was to come. He said that he knew the road ahead would be challenging, and leaving his wife and kids behind was beyond comprehension. He had tears in his eyes, and he grabbed my hand, and he said with passion, "We're bridge builders, man. With what we create, songs or anything, we bridge that gap. I know where I'm headed, and I'm going to be a lot better over there than this broken down version of myself here. It just sucks that it's got to hurt so much. There's the one that went before me, so I know this thing can be done. I've just got to follow his lead." He trusted that perfect love would guide him to his next destination, though it felt like a balancing act over an endless fall. Faith in that perfect love is what kept his eyes up, looking at the steps present and ahead, not looking down or behind. We laughed a bit at the destiny present, how we both met so many years ago searching for meaning, and now sat face to face as he lay dying. I told him that I would write a song for him to serve as a reminder as he faced the storms to come. He said, "That would be the greatest gift to me. You know I'm a music man. Right from the heart, brother." The next day I sat on a bench in my parents' backyard and wrote the lyrics for the song. I wept for my friend as I wrote, struck by the tragedy of death at such a young age. I was so amazed by his brightness, willing to walk on, knowing the road held depths of shadows. He trusted in pure love, in salvation from the struggle. He was confident that the bridge he crossed was strong, with full faith that it would take him where he needed to go. The words and melody came together quickly, a narrative to his journey, a celebration of his example leading the way for us. As I recorded the guitars specifically, I thought of his many years of performing, how he loved this instrument and all the freedom that came through him as he played. People described his guitar playing as something completely connected. I thought of that connection as a metaphor of that bridge he said we're all building. Connection. Through what we do, what we bring to each other in service, what we ourselves fully connect with helps bridge that gap for others. Through what he gave, even now in his passing, showed us all in witness that there indeed is a bridge there for us. We just need to find it, trust it, and walk forward. I went to him with his wife present with us, and I shared the song, fully recorded with all the skill I could muster from my dear colleague in music. As he listened, tears flowed down his face. Tears were present in all of our eyes as we let music celebrate this man that we would miss dearly, but remember well. After the song was over, he looked at me and said, "That's it, man. That's it." I went to see him as he declined, his condition worsening and altering his mind. Though he was so pained and tormented by this brain tumor, he was always exceedingly grateful to the hospice staff who came to bathe and tend to him. His friends continued to come daily. It's always a call that comes in when I'm in the middle of something. Sorry. His friends continued to come daily, each one able to see how this man was building that bridge with every step of his journey. He was vulnerable with his fears, allowing the victory of faith and love to be apparent to each person that entered into that room. Then early in the morning that Palm Sunday, he crossed that bridge, walking welcomed into a new kingdom upon a path built before him. I brought my guitar that night and played his song as we waited for the mortuary to come. His family was present, weeping in his presence, calm and serene in expression. His journey was over, and he walked well to the end. Now his children and wife walk on, as all who know him, remembering the steps that he left along that bridge he built for them. An example of courageous faith, a surrender to the steps. Aware of the darkness below, but not yielding to its distraction or despair, he realized that as he died, he was still alive. And though was no longer able to use his legs, he was walking in faith. He could no longer use his hands to play guitar, but he was creating music. Though he was bound to his bed, he was building a bridge with every kind word, every tear of sorrow and joy. As he walked that final step along those Sunday palm branches, the last step was made to the other side of that ravine. He crossed the bridge well and showed us how it could be done. That bridge still stands to this day for all who remember him to cross when faced with that shadowy ravine of fear. May we choose not to remain on the side or to look down in the middle, but to walk on bravely, knowing that others are watching and that he's waiting. Thank you, friends. Till next weekend.
I know when I walk, the builder of this bridge has done his job. Yeah, I throw a rock, watch it fall into the shadows drown. It's a long way there, but I'm crossing a bridge to the sun on the other end. Yeah, and I won't forget the builder is my best friend. When I hear you sing, it reminds me like a wind onto a wing. Yeah, sure it'll sting to pass the valleys echoing. There's nothing to compare, 'cause I'm crossing a bridge to the sun on the other end. Yeah, and I won't forget the builder is live in rhyme. It may take some time, but I'm crossing a bridge to the sun on the other end. Yeah. And I won't forget the builder is my best friend. So I'll be waiting for you with the sun on the other end.